Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's session is going to be very informative, very knowledgeable, and what can I say? This session is not just special for you guys, but it is special for me as well, because Amita ma'am inspires me in many ways. Welcome to my channel, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And your feelings are completely reciprocated, Hilary. Even you inspire me in so many ways.
I would like to start this session by reminding my viewers regarding those 3 P's of post-graduation, which you shared in our last video, if you allow.
Sure. Please go ahead.
So guys, as you all have stepped into your post-graduation, in our last video, ma'am shared regarding 3 P's of post-graduation. So they are passion, perseverance, and patience. So if you remember these 3 P's throughout these 3 years, I think you will get the most out of your 3 years. And today's session, I would say that for the next 10 to 15 minutes, please don't go anywhere. Do not skip a minute, because whatever ma'am is going to share is going to be very helpful for you in one or the other way, either for your thesis selection topic or for your post-graduation life. So pay attention and sit back tight. So ma'am, let's start this session. So ma'am, how to select a thesis topic, especially, the students who have just entered into the post-graduation, they do not have a wide knowledge or maybe information that what we can do research into. So how they can begin with?
Hi. So hello to everyone. Now, as you said, Hilary, it's so true that most of the universities, they expect their students to, at least submit their thesis topic within 6 months of joining.
Right.
And I don't know, the kids nowadays are very smart, but when I joined and for 6 months, I didn't know much about my subject only. So it was very difficult for me, and I'm sure very, very difficult for most of us to come to a conclusion like who we are or what topic are we going to select. Because, it's like my guide always used to tell me the thesis is like your baby. So once you conceive it, you have to stay with it. And not only during those 3 years of post-graduation, but it carefully is going to be, staying on your area of research for the rest of your life also. So the selection is very important, and how to select, there's no, tailor-made way that how you should do it, but you should know what, how, and when to do it. So let's start with when. When you should start thinking about your topic is first when the university tells you, of course, that now you have to submit. Second, when you think you are ready for it. Okay. And how to get ready for it? First, you should and of your subject, so that you can, kind of orient yourself towards what is your area of interest. Then you have to have a very hearty and a very open discussion with your guide, your mentor, your faculty, senior faculties, students, co-students, about, what could be a relevant topic. You can get a lot of knowledge from the literature which is already there. So you have to equip yourself with the little bit basics of this research also, how to do, searches also. For most of the universities nowadays, research methodology. So, utilize those things, keep your basics clear, and then think of where your interest lies. Okay.
Right.
At the same, for example, in my thing, I was very clear whether in medicine or radiology, I want to go towards the medicine side. So I would select a topic which is more of medicine. At the same time, I had this idea that I'm going to, find out some cure or find out some drugs for certain diseases. But then the thing is, there is where practicality kicks in. Don't be over ambitious as well. Thesis
Visibility of material and methods also.
So important. So your thesis has a time limit.
Right.
Yours or so. So you have to be thinking very practically, and you have to think about the, feasibility as well as, in both the terms, the time, money, the resources that are available, right? And a lot of people have this thing that we should not be doing a study which is already done. Many of the guides also say, "Arey, ye hua hua hai, why you want to do again?" But if you think, or if you think properly, the replication studies are not bad for thesis. I mean, of course, you should, if you have such an innovative idea that you want to go for, very good, go for it if it is feasible. But in case something, replication study comes in your mind, it's not unethical. You cannot copy everything. You cannot copy the tables, you cannot copy things. But the idea can definitely be replicated in your own settings, in your own geographical area. Some of the parameters could be changed. So thesis selection topic, again, selection of the topic should be you should be having a fair idea. You have to balance between what you want and how much you can achieve in that much time. And from where to gather this knowledge is, of course, from your mentor, your guides, read about it, whatever topics. We used to maintain a diary. So first 6 months, what we used to do, whatever thing used to strike us, for example, I'm going for a radiographic processing, something strikes me, then just note down this thing, jot down the point, maintain a diary of the areas of interest in the first 6 months, and then start searching the literature for the relevant things.
Right.
You'll get an idea. It will not come in one day. There won't be a eureka
It's a
moment.
good practical tip, ma'am, to, evaluate that where their interest actually lies.
Yes.
Ma'am, what is the significance of doing this thesis project? Like what is the importance of thesis in a postgraduate's life?
Well, first thing, the most practical thing, it's for your partial fulfillment of your degree. But don't look it like that. And as I said, the purpose of thesis is also not for you to do something very out of the way, or something ekdam eureka kind of thing. It is to sensitize you as a postgraduate students towards the research methods, research proposal, and make some contribution to the field you have chosen. So it is more of a sensitization thing, not really that, so that, once you know that, yes, my research lies, interest lies in the field of research, even when you become clinician, you know how to practice. Generally, the evidences should guide your practice. You must have heard it always. Particular cement in your field, or this thing is very good. You will not believe it. Now in second year, you know that I'll go back to the literature, see people have worked on it, and then I'll find out whether I should implement it in my clinical practice or not. Right. So even if many of the students think, "Mujhe clinical practice karna hai, why do I need research?" It's not like that. Your practice will also require that. And as a part of the faculty, then it's your own little contribution as a part of that stream or branch towards your, incremental knowledge build up in a certain field. So it's important bit. And it builds that discipline that I told about, those 3 P's you were just talking about. Thesis requires a lot of it. And it's, that the dedication with which you can do the thesis, it will, carve you as a person, as a practitioner. Believe me, even if you want to just practice later on.
True.
It will, I think it's very important.
Okay. Ma'am, which one is better, in vitro study or in vivo study? Some students also have this confusion.
See, now this is again, idealistic. बहुत लोगों से बात करोगे, when you talk to people, they would say patient-based you should do always. It depends on your idea, or it depends on your research question. If something is achievable in vitro, or it is some basic study, right, which you cannot directly, you cannot make your patients guinea pig. So in vitro is good. Some mechanical fundas you want to, like, for example, in your branch, marginal example, why I want, whether I'll get so many patients, whether it is ethical to, read it in the mouth, or such the same things can be replicated in vitro. So you have to give it a thought. Both are good. never undermine the importance of in vitro studies also, because most of the basic studies have, come up from there. So both are good, depends on your research topic. Okay, that way you have to think. ऐसे नहीं सोचना. Now some people have this feeling, no, in vitro means they are just doing for doing it. It's not like that. It's not easy also if you follow the research guidelines.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, are there any ways through which we can get our thesis funded?
Yes. Now, earlier ICMR has these for young research scholars. They have this funding thing, so you can apply in that. Apart from that, find, just search for the literature regarding your thesis title and see the related areas. For example, if I'm doing an oral cancer, there are so many private organizations, GOI also, ICMR also, they fund those things. For example, your branch or some clinical branch, you want to see about some sealant, some cement or something like that. So many times manufacturing companies, you can, at least funding in an indirect way can also be done. So your material could come from there. But you have to, in that case. But there are certain funding agency for girls, even it's getting better nowadays in India. I'm sorry, boys. But there is, scientific organization of women karke, which funds the, researches done by young girl research, women researchers. So on net, there are 100 possibilities. Maybe nowadays institutes do not fund it for the PG students, but you can definitely try out ICMR. In between, they had stopped it for the dental subjects, but now they have started again. Okay. And some private organizations.
Okay.
So, because on this, and I knew I would get carried away and I'll start speaking. So I just summarize these points. And I'm so happy the way you started this talk with 3 P's, because today I have another letter of vocabulary for you. Let's see what it is.
Excited to hear that, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's how I do, and that's how I tell my PG students. So how to select your dissertation topic, as we discussed, it's going to be very confusing, and most of the times in first 6 months the students are kind of shooting in the dark. Or what happens, we take up the topics which our mentors or our guides give. But if you want it to be a continuous process, you have to select your dissertation topic, make it yours, right? So a lot of questions are there, whether it should be, an original study, replication study, whether I should do a RCT, as you said, or just an observational study is good. In vivo study kare, in vitro study kare, what we should do. So remember, it has to be manageable. As I said, you can not, has to be manageable in your time frame and budget, and at the same time it has to be relevant. It has to contribute, to the field in which you are doing the research. So this time I have ease for you. So this is for the first year MBA students who have just started. To begin with, follow the 3 E's approach. This is just for you to remember: enhance, engage, and estimate. Start with these 3 E's when you are selecting your dissertation topic. Enhance your knowledge. As I said, read about it. You have journals, you have answers. Enhance your knowledge about your topic of interest. Always engage in discussions with the experts of that field. So engage in discussion with your guides, your teachers, your colleagues, people you meet at these things. Engage in conversation. You never know from where you will get that bright idea or the ways to improvise on your topics. And always estimate. Be like your mom. Estimate. Okay, this month, 2 more things I have to do. 2 more people are coming to my home. So I need this thing more. Year or 1.5 years in between the post-graduation, I have to finish this thesis. I have to evaluate the affecting factors. What all other things are there? What is the feasible thing that I can do? But mainly in the league of time as well as finances. Okay. So these 3 E's to begin with for selecting your dissertation topic. Okay. And where to look? Now, okay, I thought of it. but whether it is visible or not, whether it has been too much researched upon already or not, whether it is relevant topic. So your own professional interest, professional journals in your field, all of us have that access to that. Dissertation, look for the previous dissertation, see what they have done or what they have not done. You know, try to find out the loopholes or the areas which was not so well done or which still has a question mark. Find that out. Current theories, whatever are doing, for example, right now, everyone is talking about, the artificial intelligence and all. It has become a hot topic. So what are the current theories? And then you will get the inspiration where to go. Of course, when you attend conferences, seminars, all these things. And savior of us all, internet. So search and search. Look for it. Okay. See what strikes. Okay. So what are the tips? How should be your selection of topic? It needs to hold your interest for a long time. Just because somebody told me or somebody is very much in vogue nowadays, but I'm not interested in that, I will not do it. Select a topic which will hold your interest for a long time. Size wise, it should be manageable. I can feel that, Acha Baba, I want to find out what are the oral manifestation, what have been the oral manifestations of COVID in Indian population. But is the sample size manageable? No. So it should be manageable in size, the sample. It must have a potential to make some contribution to the already existing knowledge. It should be doable within your time frame and budget. Acha, now is the tricky part. It has not already been sufficiently read. Then look for a different parameter. The research interest field can be same. Okay, but do not just copy the hypothesis word by word and things like that. And of course, the last one is very important in Indian scenario. It should be acceptable to your guide. So discuss with your guide regarding this. Okay. Then the question comes, as you said, how original it should be. Now the debate is in vivo kare, in vitro kare, whether we should do original research. Now, original is a illusion in scientific area. Sometimes they say, some of the researchers have said, what is original? Nowadays, when most of the theories, most of the things are practiced and are being researched everywhere, original can be interpreted in several ways. So for post-graduation dissertation, I feel, although not many might not agree with me, if you have a very new idea, very good. But for post-graduation studies, even replication study is not bad. And believe me, it is easy to do. You just have to keep some things in mind. You have to, take up one part of it or some parameters which you think there was a loophole in the previously done studies, or there was a lacune. This part was not studied well. Or you want to repeat the same study in your own setup, in your own geographical conditions. It's absolutely okay to go for application studies also for PG dissertation. Just think that you should highlight the need to replicate. Why you study? Always give the due credit, cite the replication when you are presenting the study. Okay. And if at all you feel that the entire study I have to do in my setup, contact the original author. Generally, people are very helpful. They will give you permission. Even for their, setting, resource settings also they'll give you ideas. Okay. Strictly, do not copy the content. That is unethical. Do not copy the content completely. You have to make it your own study. So both you can do, searching for a title. If you have a very novel idea which is feasible, manageable, go for it. In study, go for it, but keep these things in mind. Okay.
This was very informative, and I'm sure that it will definitely, give some clarification to those who are confused regarding how to select their thesis topic.